I made a tweet recently. I said that since the last patch, I believe that Beastmaster is the best hero in Dota. I just want to kind of elaborate on that as to why I think so and why this hero potentially is the most polarizing dude in this game at the moment, especially in competitive gaming. For a long time, I've been a fan of Beastmaster, but I feel like in this patch currently, he's even better. And the biggest reason is because his toolkits are just insane. So we gotta like think about like what this hero does, right? When he goes into a lane, he's got boar and he's got a hawk. So he can always use his boars to like last hit with creeps or pull creep waves. He can have a lot of flexibility throughout his laning stage to be able to get farm, and he's very good playing with another support because his boar can slow people down and he's got a bunch of damage, right? Normally what people skill up when you play with Beastmaster is they max out the boars and they also skill up the inner beast because it gives attack speed. Now the thing that makes Beastmaster so OP is that in the current patch, the two strongest items for offlane heroes is actually Helm of the Dominator and also Necronomicon. So one of the reasons why Necronomicon is so good right now is because it has a very good build up. It's got 2 Sage Mask, a Belt of Strength. So these items benefit Beastmaster a lot, especially in the laning stage. And then you get that Necro 1, and this Necro 1 does a lot of damage. And when you use this Necro 1 and you get your roar up, you can pretty much just bully anybody out of the lane, right? When you're level 6 or level 7 even, by that time you already have your Necro 1. It's very easy to buy because it only costs like 2,150 gold. It's like nothing for a hero like Beastmaster who's already farming a lot. So enemy carry can't stay in the lane. He's always afraid of getting roared. If by level 7 you have like your max level in war and you get your aura up and then you just like casually roar a core, like before they can even blink out, like they already lost, you know, 700 of their health. Now this is AM, so he's actually much tankier. He's got like 2 wraith bands even I put on him. But as an example of what would happen if you go into the enemy carry with your roar and you just roar him, you can just kick him out of the lane. And no carry wants that to happen to him. And if you have a support, you're generally going to just kill that hero off. And after that, you're just going to go into the enemy safe lane tower. You're just going to take it. And you're just going to, you know, park yourself up there. The other item that is super good for Beastmaster right now, like I said, was the Helm of the Dominator. And this item is really good because it increases nearby allied heroes and players' units base damage by 20% and health regen by 4.25. So your summons, everything also can gain damage from this. Normally what you see players doing is if it's a good Dami game, they'll just go Dami first. If it's a good Necro game, they'll just go Necro first. Some players even go Necro Book without the boots even, because it has a really good build up with the double Sage Mask and the belt. And they just want to get that Necro 1 right away. And you just like spam your Necro 1 all the time and you just like use it to farm and push out lanes and just amplify your net worth. And then once you're high enough level, like you just start skilling up axes, and then these axes also get the damage amp for your summons too. So later in the game, it's going to be a lot harder for your enemy to like mitigate amplified damage with these things, right? In a bad game, when you play Beastmaster, the worst case scenario for this hero is he's just going to be an aura bot. And this is probably the biggest reason why this hero is like so good, is because he provides a 40 attack speed bonus and 20% damage amplification, and if he has the Necro books up too, it also gives them 5 attack speed and 5 movement speed. So your entire team is getting this boost, and the hero who will benefit the most from all these things is going to be your hard carry. When you go into the enemy side of the map, and let's say you kill a hero because you roared them, and it's a really hard disable, even if they BKB, they're probably gonna die. You can just walk straight up to the enemy high ground with this Necro Book, with this Dominator aura, and then your passive aura, and then your carry is just gonna do all the work for them, right? It's like, imagine having an anti-mage versus a Phantom Assassin battling up against each other. They have the same amount of net worth, but your Phantom Assassin has plus 40% of bonus attack speed, has plus 20% base damage, and whatever level of Necro Book you have, that amount of movement speed and attack speed as well. And on top of that, your PA can also get vision of enemy supports because of your Call of the Wild or such thing. That's like in the worst case scenario, right? So you're always boosting up your carry hero. Now, previous heroes that did things like this was like Io, but Io obviously fell out of favor. That was a good hero that gave damage reduction to your carry, and like you kind of just like stacked your net worth onto that hero. This is probably the biggest reason why I think Beastmaster is the most OP. Either he's going to win the lane, push the towers, and then just snowball your team to victory, or he's just going to amplify your carry and make them super strong. So in 50-50 drafts where both teams have equally powerful heroes, Beastmaster is that game-changing guy for your carry because he just stacks the net worth onto the carry, and then your carry is just going to be stronger than the enemies. Also, yeah, if you take Dominator on Beastmaster, if you get like a wolf, that's additional damage, right? There's so many possibilities. This Dominator can also net you like Furball creeps that give you attack speed. You get a Centaur creep with this. There's so many different creeps that you can get depending on the game that you're playing and what kind of benefits that you need for that game, especially for your carry. You should always keep in mind like your carry is the hero that you're playing for, right? He's the one that you want to make stronger, and as long as you have that mentality, you're going to play Beastmaster very well, and it's going to be much easier for you to win games. Which games are good Domi games and which are good Necro games? So Domi games are good when you need that HP regen and you're taking like some damage from the enemy. They're like they're spamming you and such, because the Dominator build-up gives you the headdress, which can be really helpful in the lane. But if you don't need that and you know the enemy is just going to leave your lane at some point, you can just go for the Necro one. And you can just farm with that in like lanes where you feel like you need more mana. It really depends. Like, I think both items are very good, and it just can come down to the preference that you have. So currently in Dota as well, if you look at professional games, Beastmaster has an extremely high win rate. And also in pubs, he can play very well. It's just a matter of like you figuring out how to best utilize this hero, understanding what your purpose in the game is. And if you want a better gameplay or a replay that you want to watch, check out my replay session on S4's Beastmaster that I highlighted previously. I think that game is perfect example of a game where S4 was having a bad game, but he brought his team back into the game. And they were also playing with a Phantom Assassin on that hero. I think Phantom Assassin Beastmaster is a great combo, and it's really, really powerful. One of the reasons why I thought that it would be a good idea to talk about this hero is because we just watched Boom ID absolutely destroy TNC. And I think the biggest reason is because they have like this super strong Beastmaster PA combo, and they didn't have the proper tools or the heroes to be able to deal with it. And yes, BM is good in any bracket, for sure.